My name is Cameron, and welcome back to my channel, Which Way to Wicked, where we talk about all things love, light, and especially tarot. So guys, today we are going to be finding out, how do people describe you to other people? So, if you ever wondered what people say about you when they're asked to say what you're like, then this is going to be the reading for you today, because we're going to be spilling all that tea on you. So, without further ado, let's take a look at your group picks. So for group number 1, we have the Judge card coming through. For group number 2, we have the Child Wounded. And last but not least, for group number 3, we have Addict coming through as well. So guys, I want you to go ahead and take a very big deep breath in. And now I want you to please let it out. And now I want you to close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, I want you to think about other people, how they view you, and how they describe you to others. So, whenever you feel ready, please open your eyes, and whichever card your eyes lands on first, then that, my dear, is going to be the reading for you today. Now, if you feel called to more than one card here, then definitely feel free to check out those extra messages as well. And as always, I will have the timestamps listed down in the description box below. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your reading today, friends. Hello, group 1. So if you felt called to the Judge card today, then hey, hello, how are you? And welcome to this fabulous reading today. So let's just go ahead and get right into this, because I know you guys are excited as I am to hear about all of the tea on you, about what people say about you. So first of all, let's go ahead and just focus in on this card. So, you felt called to the Judge card, my friends, and whenever I see this card, the first thing that comes to my mind is that gorgeous, lovely Libra energy. So, you could be a Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or in Venus, but you don't have to be. This could simply be representing kind of like the vibe that you give off. And if you are wondering what that vibe is, let me tell you a bit about that Libra vibe. So, first of all, Libras, these are the type of people that are very, very logical. These are the type of folks who think less with their heart and more with their mind. That doesn't mean that they're not sentimental and that they don't care about people. It just means that these are, again, very logical, very analytical people. Now, I myself know a lot of Libras. I'm surrounded by Libras in my life. My brother is a Libra, my Nana is a Libra, my boyfriend is a Libra. So I feel like I know my fair share of Libras. And to tell you more about it, to describe to you what Libras are like these are just the type of people who, again, they're very logical, but at the same time, they care so much in their own unique way, and they have a sweet way of showing it. For example, my brother, he's very, 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 very logical. My mom and I are really into astrology, and if he ever hears us talking about astrology, he gets so mad. He's like, oh my gosh, like, astrology is not real, like, no way, that's just not how it is. Like, science is the way. And at the same time, though, he is just so sweet. He's the type of person who was just telling my mom the other day that she needs to go walk more, because my mom has been complaining of not feeling that good and just feeling like she starts breathing a whole lot, like she can't catch her breath if she exerts herself a lot. So my brother cares about her, loves her, and he says, okay, let's go walk. I'm gonna go walk with you. I care about you. I don't want anything to happen to you. And so it's really sweet. So in his own way, he shows his heart, right? But when people first meet him, all they see is how logical he is, okay? And so I feel like if somebody were to describe you to other people, I think that they would say, like, hey, this person I think when you first meet them, they come off as somebody who is very logical. They come off as somebody who isn't the biggest, like, sentimental person ever, but when you get to know them, you get to see how sweet they are, how much they care about people. They will go out of your way to be kind to you and to show you how much they love you. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like when people first meet you, I think that they do kind of feel like you don't express yourself a lot. They feel like you're just very like an A type of personality, and you're just someone who is all about the books, all about learning new things, and you don't really delve much into emotions. But people who really know you, people who get to know you, they start to see those different layers of you. They see how sweet you are and how sentimental you are, how much you care about people. And so they make sure to tell others, like, hey, I know they come off this way, but they really do love people. And that's just not something that you can see when you first meet them. It's something that is shown and revealed over time. So I definitely think that that's really cool. Going off of that, I also think that people describe you to others as being all about fairness and being all about equality and things like that. And so what I mean by that is I feel like you are just the type of person who you want to make sure that everyone is happy. You want to make sure that everyone is being treated fairly. And you're the type of individual who, if you see any type of like wrong deeds being like taking place or whatever, you will say something about it, right? So if you were to, let's say, be going to school, right, and you're in class and you see someone being really mean to another person, maybe you think that they're like bullying that person, you will be the first one to say something to defend that person, and you will also be the first one to tell the teacher what's going down as well. You're just really big about making sure people are being respected, and you will make sure that everyone is happy and everyone feels safe and comfortable. So yeah, I definitely feel like that is what people say about you when they describe you. Now let's go ahead and move this up to the front right here. You can't see it now, so it's out of view of the camera range or whatever. But let's go ahead and move on to your tarot cards. Now, guys, if you like this reading so far, if you like my vibes, then please make sure to give this video a big old like, and maybe even decide to subscribe to my channel because, you know, I like making videos like this, and if you like my vibe, then I'm sure you'll like my other videos that I post. So, yeah, join the tribe, you guys. But let's go ahead and get into your energy. Let's get into Group 1's energy. Spirit, please. How do people describe my Group 1 folks? How do they describe them to other people, Spirit? Can we get some messages? Ooh, I think that one wants to come through. Spirit, how do people describe my Group 1 folks? How do people describe them? My Group 1 folks, Spirit. Can we get some messages? There we go. Yeah. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Okay, perfect. Wow. Okay, you guys. First of all, for the back of the deck energy, we have the Ten of Wands coming through. I definitely feel like people describe you as someone who has so much responsibility. They describe you as someone who is a bit of a workhorse as well. I just think that you are someone who works really hard at everything that you do, whether it be your job, whether it be something that you're passionate about, like a hobby, or whether it be just you being there for your friends and your family members. Like, you just work really, really hard, and you always take on any extra responsibility that needs to be taken. So for example, let's say that you are currently like working at a law firm or something like that. I'm just saying a law firm because we had the judge coming through, and that gives me like law type of energy. Yeah, you could be a lawyer, by the way, or again like a judge, or you could be someone who's drawn to like the police force or something like that. Maybe people mention that about you, how they feel like you'd make a great FBI agent because you're all about like the law and you're all about people being treated fairly, all that jazz. But anyways, again, let's say that you were at a law firm. I feel like you are the type of person who will take on any extra hours. You will work until like 3 in the morning, and then you would come home, and if you were to get like a call at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, you would answer it, and it's your friend saying like, hey, I just got a ticket, or I got arrested or something like that. I need help. Will you come help me? You would come and help them just like that. That's just the type of person that you are. Even though you're tired, you will still take on more of a load just so that you can help your friends. So yeah, you just go above and beyond in every area of your life, and that is definitely something that is noticed, that people see, and that your loved ones notice as well. And so when they are describing you to other people, when individuals describe you to others, that is what they're saying, how you always go above and beyond, how you are always helping everyone. You take on so much extra responsibility. You're such a hard worker. But they also say how they feel like you could be running the risk of overworking yourself. So that is definitely something that they probably use to describe you. They describe you as an overachiever in the best ways. They describe you as a workaholic and as someone who works so hard that they might run the risk of working themselves into the ground. Okay, so that is what is coming through. Let's take a look at these cards. Ooh, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so like I was saying before, I felt like that Libra energy was really coming through very heavily. And we have the Chariot card coming through, and you can see right here, this girl's like looking at two different signs, and one sign says this way, the other sign says that way, and she doesn't really know where she's gonna go. And so what's funny is Libras, one of their biggest traits is the fact that they can be someone who has a hard time like making decisions. They just what's the word for it? There's a word for that. Not undecided. I don't know, but they just have a hard time making choices, okay? These are the type of people who one day they feel like they love law and they want to be a lawyer, but then the next day, let's say they're watching the TV and they're watching Big Bang Theory, and there's like a physicist on Big Bang Theory. They will say like, oh my gosh, now I think that physics would be an amazing thing, an amazing field to work in, and I want to be a physicist now. So that's like a drastic example, but I feel like that is like the type of vibe that you give off. You are someone who you sometimes have a hard time making decisions for yourself, or maybe you do make a decision, but then something else happens and you kind of get drawn on a different pathway and you decide to do something else instead. Does that make sense? This could even just talk about how maybe you have a hard time deciding like what you're going to eat for lunch or dinner. You could be the type of person that sometimes feels the need to let other people make choices for you because you just have such a hard time deciding what you should do and making that choice. So instead of like agonizing over whether you should eat pizza or a hamburger for lunch, instead you'll have your friend just go out and you tell them, just get me whatever, you know, so they make that choice for you. So yeah, I feel like when people describe you to others, that's definitely what they're saying, how you can sometimes have a really hard time at making decisions for yourself. And that's just kind of funny. I love that. The Chariot, I think, does talk about that Cancerian energy. So you could be a Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, or in Venus, which is really cool because Cancers are actually all about their emotions. Like, these are the type of people who follow their heart, which sounds like very contradictory towards what we were saying, like how I was telling you again, people describe you as being very logical, very reasonable, but that Cancerian energy, it comes through in layers. Like as people get to know you, they start to see like this sweet side that you have, and it's that Cancerian energy, that vibe that kind of comes off and like sprouts and blooms as people get to know you. So yeah, again, people are always saying how you seem very reasonable and logical, but if you get to know this person, like they're not cold logical, like no, they're very sweet. They're the sweet kind of logical. Does that make sense? Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, when people describe you, they just say again, you come off as very logical, and sometimes that logicalness can make you seem like you're kind of cold, but as people get to know you, they see how you're also a really nice person overall. So that's definitely something they say. Also, you are just a freaking boss, okay? Because we literally have the Emperor coming through. Now, the Emperor, this is somebody who has goals and they make those goals happen. This is someone who is a very hard worker. So, again, we got that busy bee energy coming through. Whoops. So, yeah, I feel like people describe you as someone who is that person, that boss. They definitely describe you as someone who they feel like is going to be very, very, very successful. They say how you're someone who, again, just works very hard. So obviously they feel like you're going to make a really big name for yourself. So yeah, you're just like a leader. People really look up to you. They see how hard you work and they find that to be very inspiring. So yeah, that's what some other things people say about you. Last but not least, we have the Five of Swords, and I think this is really awesome because the Five of Swords, this talks about like petty things happening. This talks about people being mean to others, and I think that this is just talking about how, again, like, you hate seeing conflict of any kind. You don't like it when people are being rude to others. And I do think that you are the type of person who sometimes, like, conflict scares you. You don't like it when people get mad and start arguing. But again, you are someone who will step in and kind of diffuse the situation. And also, you will defend anyone that needs to be defended against, or who just needs to be defended, right? So, yeah. I just think that this is, again, talking about how when people describe you, they describe you as someone who hates any type of people being like mean to each other. You hate negativity. You hate when others are negative to others. So, yeah, you'll be the first one to defend them. You'll be the first one to step up and just make sure that everyone is being nice to each other. So yeah, you just want to make sure that everyone is being respected, that everyone is being treated very fairly, and I definitely think that that is something that people always say whenever they describe you to others. So let's go ahead and move on and take a look at our oracle cards. So 2 cards are already coming through. Let's get one more card. Spirit, for my group 1 folks, can we get one more card, please, for my group 1 folks? How do people describe them to others? Can we get some messages, please, Spirit? Can we get some messages? There we go. Perfect. Okay, so okay. Sorry, you guys. My contact is bothering me. But anyways, let's go ahead and see what the back of the deck energy is. Okay. Alrighty, that's interesting. So, first of all, for the back of the deck energy, we have the needs before wants. So, when I see this card, this kind of makes me think about like putting yourself first. And I honestly think that when people describe you to others, again, they're always remarking on the fact that you just take on so much responsibility. You're always just doing the most, and sometimes in the process they feel like you're almost compromising your own health. And so you're just the type of person who wants to help others, but sometimes you need to take care of yourself as well. And so I feel like when people describe you to others, that is what they're saying. How they just feel like you need to put your needs before your wants. And again, your wants is that you want to help people so much that you compromise your own health, your own happiness. And so people are just saying that they want you to be happy. They want you to be happy. They don't want you to be bitter or anything like that, because we do have the bitterness card coming through. They don't want you to be bitter. They want you to be happy. And so, yeah, I feel like people are just afraid of you waking up one day and just seeing like all these things you've done for others, and they're afraid that you're going to regret not doing more things for yourself. Does that make sense? And so I do think that that is what people say about you. And what's interesting is that we have the Independence card coming through, and I think that this is also kind of going off of the fact of what I'm just saying. I honestly feel like people say when they describe you how you just have so many people who rely on you, so many people who depend on your love and your concern You have so many people that see how good of a person you are, how you would always be there for them no matter what. And I feel like these people, when they see that, when they see how you are, they feel like you may run the risk of having people take advantage of your kindness. And they're just afraid that you're going to wake up one day and realize that you spent so much time trying to help others. And they're afraid that you're going to regret doing those things. They're afraid that you're going to regret not being a little bit more selfish. So, yeah, when people describe you, they're always saying how unselfish you are. They say how you care about others, you're always there for them, but they want you to also take care of yourself and to care for yourself as well. So that's honestly very interesting. I'm also kind of feeling that for some of you guys, maybe you could have been someone who is still to this day very close to your parents, but I'm kind of getting the idea that maybe you lived with your parents for a long time. Like, I know there's a lot of people that get out of the house when they're 18. I feel like for a lot of you guys, now this may not ring true for everyone, but I am kind of getting the idea for quite a few of you guys, you could have been someone who stayed at the house very late in your life. You could be just like me. I am 24 and I'm still living with my mom. She takes care of me. Thank you, mommy. But yeah, you could be like that, or you could have been like that, because obviously you could be older when you're watching this, and when you're younger, maybe you just stayed with your parents for a long time or whatever. So yeah, that is just a side message, and that could be something that people notice about you, and they say that whenever they describe you, that's something that they bring up to people. And I'm also getting the idea that people may describe you as like a mama's boy or a mama's girl or a daddy's girl, daddy's boy, whatever, or they, them, right? I just feel like I feel like whether they know you a whole lot or not, they just see you as someone who is a big mama's or dad's girl, boy, they, them. And that's definitely something that they mention. Like, I feel like when people are talking to others about you, they're saying how they definitely get the vibe that you care a lot about your family, and especially about your parents or whoever it is that takes care of you or did take care of you. But yeah, you guys, that is honestly what I'm seeing here. We have the final card, invasive, and I think, again, that's just going off of what I was saying. People are just afraid that you're going to look back one day and just be kind of sad with how you have spent so much time committing yourself to others. So, yeah, that's very interesting. That's very, very interesting. But, yeah, that is what I'm seeing for you today. Hope that you have enjoyed this reading, and if you did, then please make sure to give me a big like and to subscribe to my channel, because I post new videos every Monday and every Friday, and I would love to have you stop by this side of TarotTube again sometime, okay? I love you all so much. Mwah! Have a fabulous day, friends. Bye. Hello, Group 2. So if you felt called to the Child Wounded card today, then hey, hello, how are you? And welcome to this fabulous reading today. So guys, let's go ahead and just jump right into this reading, because I'm so excited to be able to talk to you about all the tea, everything there is to know on how people describe you to others. So let's go ahead and get into this. So first of all, let's talk about this Child Wounded card. So I feel like this card is coming through to represent how when people describe you to others, they say how you are someone who seems like you could have had a harder past growing up. So you could be someone, honestly, who you could be more vague about it. Maybe you don't talk about your past a lot, but you're really big about helping other people who seem to have gone through the same things as you. And so because of that, people take notice of that, and that is something that they bring up to other people. Just the fact that you seem like someone who had a really hard past, and yet you don't let that past bring you down. Instead, you make it a point to be there for other people who have had similar experiences, similar traumas, and you make it a fact to try to raise them up and to try to help them. Now, you could also be someone who has had this really hard past and you're very vocal about it. You could be someone who is really big about going to different organizations, people who have been abused or people who didn't have moms or dads, grew up in the foster care system or whatever it is. Maybe you were bullied really bad, so you go to different events about people, about being bullied and things like that. And yeah, people just see that. They see how you turn the pain of your past into a superpower. You just made it, you made your life all about helping people who have gone through the same things as you, similar experiences, and they see you as someone who is a light in the darkness. You are always there to help others, and I think that beyond that, you're also someone who you don't just help people who have had the similar experiences as you. You just want to make everyone feel happy. You want to be there for others, and people just see you as a very pure person. And so when they're describing you, they're just saying how you are just such a kind soul, how you care so much about others, and yet at the same time, you are so strong. You are so strong and so thoughtful and just a sweet, sweet individual and warrior of a person. So yeah, I absolutely love that for you guys. Let's go ahead and see what else wants to come through for Group 2 Spirit. How would people describe them? Spirit, for my Group 2 folks, how would people describe them? I'm hearing how you find people who are feeling lost and you help give them a direction. That is what I'm hearing with the Two of Swords card, because looking at this person, she doesn't really look like someone who knows what she's doing. Does that make sense? She literally has her eyes blindfolded and she has like a knife raised and she's gonna try to like hit it into this like dartboard or something, and you can tell she doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know if her knife is going to land where it wants to land. So she just doesn't really have much of a direction. You get what I'm saying? And so I'm hearing how you are someone who provides guidance to others who are feeling lost. And so that is definitely something that people say about you. That is how they describe you. And I think that people, they just love how you are. You are just someone who is so sweet, but at the same time very assertive and very bold, and you will find people who are feeling very lost, and in a very nice yet stern way, you will help lead them out of that darkness. You will give them a direction, and you will help lighten their path for them. So I find that to be very beautiful, and I definitely think that is something that people find to be very beautiful as well, and that's something that people say whenever they're describing you to people, how you're just very nice to others, how you're like a leader. You lead people out of the darkness and towards the light. Now, sorry you guys, my contacts are bothering me, but we also have the Page of Wands coming through. Yeah, guys, you literally light that fire under people, because the Page of Wands, this talks about having a new spark. This talks about having a new sense of excitement as you go down a new path. And so I'm definitely getting the idea when people describe you to people, they say how you are just someone who lights that spark under other people. You bring a newfound sense of passion to others. I feel like for some of you guys, you could be someone who would make a really great counselor or even a career counselor. I just think that you, again, help people find a new sense of direction. And so I definitely think you would be great at helping others find a new job for them, find an idle career, or you are good at just helping people in other areas of their lives as well. You're just someone who lights that fire, right? You light that fire and you help guide them to where they need to be. And so I definitely think that that is what people are saying about you. And they also just find you to be a very energetic person, a very enthusiastic person. They see you as someone who is quite bubbly and happy, and I love that. And I'm also getting the idea you just make people feel like anything is possible. Your enthusiasm just bubbles over, and it is something that is very contagious. You are just someone who makes everyone happy. You're just a happy person in general, and that is definitely what people are saying about you when they describe you to others. And I'm getting all of that from the Wheel of Fortune card coming through, because the Wheel of Fortune, this talks about feeling very lucky and feeling lucky in all areas of your life. You feel like you can do anything. Whatever it is you want to do, you can go after it and you'll get it no matter what. I mean, if you look at this card, this girl's literally like going to be spinning a wheel, and on the wheel there's all these different things on it. There's a heart, which I feel like represents new love. There's a house, which represents finding like the home of your dreams. There's a pot of money, so that talks about, you know, being able to make that money, make that dough. And so yeah, I just feel like you ask people what it is that they want with their lives, and once they tell you like, yeah, I want to meet the love of my life, or I just want loads of money, loads of cash, you will help inspire them to get to where they need to go. It's just your happiness. It motivates people so much, and you make them feel like they can do anything, achieve anything. So yeah, when people describe you to people, they're just saying how you're such a motivating person, you're a sweet, bubbly, happy person, and people just find you to be absolutely incredible and vibrant and just beautiful. So who doesn't want to hear that? You're just awesome. You're awesome, Group 2. So let's see what else wants to come through for my Group 2 folks spirit. What wants to come through today for my Group 2 folks? How do people describe them to others? Let's get one more card here. How do people describe them to others? Look at that. Wow. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Literally, you guys, what was I saying? You literally just make people feel like they can do absolutely anything. I mean, we literally have the wishes card coming through. So it's almost like you make people feel like any of their wishes can come true. And I just think that is so amazing. So yeah, that's literally what people say when they describe you to others. They just say how you yourself are a wish come true, and you also make people feel like any of their dreams, any of their wishes can come true, so long as they, you know, work hard and believe in themselves and all that stuff. Honestly, I'm kind of thinking of like Tinkerbell. You're kind of like the human embodiment of a cute little pixie fairy. Okay, honestly, you could be on the shorter side, or even like a blonde or something like that. That could be something, like maybe when people are describing you physically, that's what they point out. But beyond that, like, you are just sweet. You make people feel just so loved and awesome and inspired, and like they can do anything. We also have a rare bloom coming through. So yeah, when people describe you, they're just saying how you are so rare. You're such a rare type of person. You're so sweet, so kind, so lovable, so passionate, so inspirational. You're just amazing. And then last but not least, we have reconciliation coming through. And I'm just thinking how people always say how, when they're describing you, how you help people reconcile with their own selves. I think that this is especially coming through to represent this past here. You help people look at their past and let go, like reconcile with their past, and like let go of the pain that has really driven itself into them. You just help people release the past and go into the future with so much more happiness and positivity. And I just think that is so incredible. So yes, you guys, that is what I'm seeing for you today. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. And if you did, then please make sure to give me a big like and to subscribe to my channel, because I post new videos every Monday and every Friday. And I would love to have you stop by the side of TarotTube again sometime, okay? So yeah, I love you all so much, and I'll see you all next time. Mwah. Bye, guys. Hello, Group 3. So if you felt called to the Addict card here, then hey, hello, how are you? And welcome to this fabulous side of TarotTube. So guys, let's go ahead and just jump right into this reading today. So if you felt called to the Addict card, the first thing I heard in my mind whenever I saw this card was a force of nature, an immovable object. So whenever I heard that, I just felt like an incredible sense of power, an incredible sense of strength. I felt like I could do absolutely anything, and I could also help absolutely anyone. And so this kind of makes me think of like a hero, like a superhero. And so whenever people describe you to others, I think that that is literally like the words that they use. Like they describe you as someone who is just so strong and so powerful, and you're like a superhero. I think that you are definitely someone who likes to save people. You like to help others. And so that is definitely like what people say whenever they describe you. Now, I'm also getting the idea here for some of you guys, you could have been someone who suffered with some type of addictions from your past. Maybe you were addicted to drugs or addicted to alcohol or sex or money or anything. You could have even been addicted to food. Maybe you ate a lot of sweets or something like that, and you had a hard time controlling yourself. Or you could have been someone who wasn't an addict, but you were around a lot of addicts growing up. Maybe a sibling of yours was an addict, or a mom or a dad or a best friend. But because you saw that, because you were around that, that really affected you. You saw how much how being addicted to something could really affect someone else's, like someone's life as well. So yeah, at the end of the day, I just think that you are someone who, because you either were an addict yourself or you were around people who were addicts, this is something that is very important to you. You want to help people who are suffering with the same type of things. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, what I'm getting from you is that you are definitely someone who could be very passionate about helping others who are addicted to different things. And I think beyond that, you are just, again, a very amazing person who just loves to help people. I think that you are someone who could see a little old lady in the street and like trying to cross the road, and if you're like in your vehicle or on the side of the road, like sitting on a bench, it doesn't matter where you're at, you'll get out of your vehicle, get off of that bench, and you will help that little old lady cross the road. That's just the type of person you are. You're very, very helpful, and you're just like a superhero to everyone. So yeah, when people are describing you to others, they call you a superhero. Sometimes they talk about your past and about how like your origin story is what made you the incredible person that you are today. You are this helpful, this kind, this thoughtful, this loving, this selfless because of your past. And so, yeah, that is just what people say whenever they're describing you. That's what I'm seeing so far. Let's go ahead and move on, and let's see what else wants to come through. Yeah, I definitely feel like in the past, something made you feel completely helpless. Something made you feel like you just couldn't do anything, right? I definitely think that at one point you just felt like you were in a really bad situation and you just could not get out of that situation. You couldn't dig yourself out of it. But now, like, you know that was just like a mindset, right? That was your mind telling you you couldn't do this. And yet the whole time you had the power to get yourself out of that situation, whether you realized it or not. And so, yeah, I feel like now that you're older, now that you have made it out of this situation, you have made it your mission to empower people, to make them feel like they can do anything. And I'm getting all that from this card right here, because looking at this girl, she looks so helpless. She looks like she feels so trapped. And at the end of the day, if you look at this, she has chains, or excuse me, these like, what are they, like ribbons around, these ties around her arms, and it's holding them together. But if you look really closely at the ends, the ties, like, they're not actually tied, like they're actually open, they're spread out right there. You can see it like waving in the wind. And yet she has made herself feel like she can't get out of this situation. Her eyes are blindfolded, so she can't see that her ties are untied. So yeah, it's like her mind that's keeping her trapped, making her feel helpless. And so yeah, I just think that at the end of the day, when people describe you to others, they say how you just want to help people who feel helpless feel like they can get out of this situation, because you yourself have been through that as well. Now we also have the Three of Pentacles coming through. I also see that they describe you as someone who is a team player, because the Three of Pentacles, this talks about working together in a group to accomplish a certain goal. And so yeah, when people describe you, they just say how you are, again, a really big team player. You like to help others. It's really easy to work with you. You're very easygoing. So yeah, that's really cool to see. I also think if there is ever like any type of like sporting event, maybe you're gonna play a sport. Maybe you're gonna play volleyball on the beach. I think that everyone wants you on their team. You are just very fun to be around. You're very happy. I don't think you're crazily competitive. And so yeah, people just have fun with you. They have fun with you. So yeah, everyone always wants you on their side. And I do think that you have a lot of people who want to be like your bestie. And so yeah, when people are describing you, they're saying how you're the best person to have on anyone's team, how you're just a really cool person. I don't think anyone has any bad thing to say about you. So yeah, don't ever worry about that, about people like being mean to you or talking trash. I honestly think that everybody likes you whenever they meet you. You're just that type of person. You're very, very likable. You're very hard to dislike. People would literally have to go out of their way to not like you. So I definitely think that is something that people say, how you're just so likable that it would literally be like someone would have to be crazy to not like you, okay? So let's talk about this last card. I love this coming through with the Knight of Cups. Now, this does talk about water signs, so you could be a water sign, Sun, Moon, Rising, or in Venus, so I am talking about Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But anyways, the Knight of Cups, this talks about someone who is a very big romantic. This is someone who believes in love, who maybe even idolizes love a bit. This is someone who probably likes to watch like a lot of romantic movies. They probably cry at the Notebook and things like that. This is someone who just loves love. They love love. They love being in love. They love being in relationships. They love sharing their love with others and spreading love. So yeah, I feel like these are all the things that you are like, okay? So when people describe you to others, they're always saying how you're just such a romantic. They say how you are someone who is definitely like a relationship person. And I definitely think that people are always saying how they hope that you could kind of like sweep them off of their feet as well. Like, I do feel like a lot of people like you. I think that a lot of people are romantically interested in you. You're definitely a big catch, and people know it and see it, and they talk about it. So when people are describing you to others, they're always saying like nothing but good things, and they're saying how like, yeah, if they could, they would date you. They would date you for sure. So yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool to see. Yeah, and they also say like they just feel like you would make like the best partner ever. Like, yeah, they would tell people how if they were dating you, they feel like you would probably be the type of person who would plan these amazing dates and these romantic evenings, and yeah, they just feel like you would spoil people so much. And so that's definitely a reason for sure why they want to date you, because again, they just feel like you're like an amazing person and you would make an amazing boyfriend, girlfriend, they, them friend, whatever, you know. But let's go ahead and move on. Let's see what else wants to come through. Okay, yeah, look at that. We literally have commitments coming through. So yeah, I definitely feel like, and first of all, do you see like these wolves around this girl? This just makes me think about like a wolf pack. And so I feel like everyone wants to be a part of your wolf pack. Everyone wants to be a part of your family, because again, they see how kind you are, how loving you are. Everyone wants to hang out with you. You're like Little Red Riding Hood right in the middle there. And so yeah, I definitely feel like wherever you go, people are always like circling around you. You're never really by yourself for long periods of time, because you're just so likable. Everyone wants to hang out with you. And so when people are describing you, they're always saying how you're just so sweet and how they just love to be around you. And if they were describing you to someone who never met you, they would say how, yeah, like, I know that you don't know this person, but they're amazing, and once you meet them, you're gonna love them so much, and you're gonna want to be their best friend. And I also think that they're just, everyone's saying how they wish that they could be in a committed relationship with you as well. That's what I'm seeing with the commitment card. Now, We also have soothe coming through, and again, I just think how this is talking about how you're just a really, really sweet person, and I think that you really soothe people. You make people feel like everything is going to be okay. You're just a ray of sunshine. So when people are describing you, that's what they're saying. They're saying how you're just such a sweet person, that you bring people together, and you make people feel like they can talk about anything that's troubling them, and you just make them feel like everything is going to be all right. And so that's definitely something people appreciate about you, and that's another thing that they say when they're describing you. Now, last but not least, we have fortify coming through, and I think that this is talking about how people, again, just see you as somebody who is an immovable object. They see you as someone who has such a strong sense of will. You are someone who can fortify yourself and go through absolutely any challenge ever, and I find that to be such an amazing thing, and such an amazing, like, contradictory quality coming through, because again, like I was saying, you're this like romantic, sweet person, and I feel like sometimes when people first meet you, they may run the risk of seeing you as someone who, because you're so sweet, they see you as someone who's not very strong. But when people get to know you, that's whenever they see how powerful you are, how your kindness, your sweetness, your softness does not make you weak, and how beyond that you are so strong. You are someone who can go through absolutely anything. You may be as soft as a cuddly teddy bear, but your will is so strong, and it is like metal. You have a iron will, okay? That's what I was thinking of. You have an iron will. So you may be soft on the outside, but in the inside you're all iron, okay? You get what I'm saying? So yeah, they just see you as someone who's so kind, so sweet, and yet so strong. And that is like the words people use to describe you, word for word. So yes, you guys, that is what I'm seeing for you today. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading, and if you did, then please make sure to give me a really big like and to subscribe to my channel, because I post new videos every Monday and every Friday, and I would love to have you stop by this side of TerraTube again sometime, okay? So I love you all so much, and I hope that you have a fabulous rest of your day, friends. Mwah. Bye, guys.